I'm absolutely not filming this after the video because my SD card randomly didn't save that clip. Why would you even suggest that? Hello guys, today I'm doing the British-Irish dialect quiz. I'm just gonna get it set up and logged in before we start. But basically what it is the New York Times quiz where you answer a bunch of questions and it tells you where you're from. I just thought it would be an interesting thing to do. I thought about maybe doing it in a year's time as well, so that we can, I don't know, compare. It would be quite interesting. For some background, I am originally from Gateshead. I was born in Gateshead, moved around a little bit but always stayed up north in that kind of area. Moved up to Northumberland for a little bit but mainly stayed in Gateshead. My mum is from Yorkshire and my dad is from Gateshead, so very northern. I'm expecting a little bit of Yorkshire in there for two reasons. One, because that's where my mum's from, and secondly because I'm currently living in York, and I have been living here for about 3.5 years now. So there is definitely a strong Yorkshire link as well as the Geordie. I don't have a particularly strong accent. It is definitely there, especially when I talk to my friends from down south, but it's not particularly strong, so I don't know if it's going to be really strongly in that area or if it's just going to be a little bit more generic. I should also mention that being at university, I'm surrounded by quite a lot of people with quite a lot of money. So if I've picked up some of the sort of more southern sort of posh bits of my accent, I would not be surprised. But because I don't have a particularly broad Geordie accent anyway. But I'd just be interested to see what the results of this are. But yeah, I thought the idea would be that I could do this in
so
like
I've
a year's
just
time,
logged in,
and see if it
but we're going to
changes over
start
time.
with
My own
I was
personal
raised
interest,
in
really.
the UK.
How do you pronounce scone? Rhymes with gone, rhymes with bone. Gone. What do you call the small grey bug that curls up into a ball when it's touched? I would call that a woodlouse. Which of these words, if any, would you use for a young person characterised by brash, loutish behaviour and often low social status? That would be a chav. How do you pronounce the word full and fool? They sound different. How do you pronounce the words door and poor? They do not rhyme. How do you refer to your grandmother? She will be grandma. Which of these words, if any, would you use for running water smaller than a river? I would call that a stream. What is the name of what is your name for the playground game in which one child chases the rest and anyone who is touched becomes the pursuer? That is tag. So I really like how I've just noticed on this on the side here how it's changing, it's sort of demonstrating like where that's from. So tag is actually from down south in Wales. There's not a lot of it up north. There is a little bit of a bubble right up north, so that's interesting. How do you pronounce, as you pronounce them, do the word farm and palm rhyme? Farm and palm. Farm and palm. Yeah, I guess. I'm somewhere between palm and like palm. I'm gonna go with yes. Apparently that is a very English thing. Which of these, if any, would you use for a baby? I mean, Ben is what you'd say up north, but I don't think I'd personally say that. I think I'd probably say kid more than anything. That's a pretty universal thing from the looks of it. Which of these words, if any, would you use for heavy rainfall? I would say it's pissing it down or it's chucking it down. Either of those. Again, that's pretty universal from the looks of it. Which of these words, if any, would you use for a piece of long cushion furniture in the main room of the house? That would be a settee or a sofa. That's what I'd call it. Again, pretty standard. Which of these words, if any, would you use for not showing up for school or work? I would say you were skiving. I wouldn't say skive off particularly. I would just say skive. But that's not an option. Again, that's a universal thing. I'm going to be really interested if they can work this out because it seems that everything I'm saying is pretty standard British. Which of these words, if any, would you use for feeling cold? I would say you're freezing. Apparently that's a southern thing. Which of these words, if any, would you use to refer to a friend? I probably wouldn't call a friend a mate. I don't think I'd use any of these. I guess out of these I'd probably say mate. Which is pretty universal as well. This is going to be interesting. Which of these words, if any, would you use for a child's soft shoe worn from PE? That is a plimsoll. That is a southern thing as well. How do you pronounce the A sound in last? Last. The A sound is in father, so lost, or the A sound in cat. Last. Cat. Yeah, that one. Which of these words, if any, would you use for feeling unwell? So the last one there, that is a pretty northern thing, so we'll see. I would say you're feeling ill. That's universal. How do you pronounce the word food and good? They do not rhyme. Again, that's pretty standard. How do you pronounce the word horse and horse? They sound the same. Again, that's standard. How do you refer to your mother? I call her mum. That is not a Geordie thing, it should be ma'am. But here we are. Again, that's pretty universal except for that gap in the northeast, and that'll be because everyone there calls their mum ma'am. Which of these words, if any, would you use for someone you think is stupid? I would say idiot. I really like melt as well, but I don't really use it. I would say idiot. Okay, apparently that's a bit of a southern thing. But and put, they do rhyme. That seems to be more of a northern thing. What do you call a small round piece of baked yeast dough? I would call it a roll or a bun. Oh no, I wanted to pick both. Okay, I guess we're going with bun. That is a pretty northern thing. And what do you call a sweetened carbonated beverage? That would be pop. Oh, we're done. Oh, interesting. Okay, so it did pretty well there. This didn't take very long. It's going to be a pretty short video. It got it pretty accurate. It got Newcastle a lot. I don't know where Middlesbrough's come from. I guess it's just generic northern. Scarborough's quite close to York, so that's interesting that I might have picked up a little bit of the Yorkshire accent while I was here. Specifically the York accent. It is very, very northern here. Very, very set around here. Definitely, I wish I could zoom in and see this in a bit more detail, but definitely around Newcastle. Yeah, I mean Newcastle's correct. Scarborough's kind of correct where I am. I'm not sure where Middlesbrough's come from, but that is pretty decidedly northern. So let's have a look. The answer's most characteristic of the location. So this is what told them where I was from the most. So we've got bun, which is pop, which is a bit more spread out. I think bun might be the most sort of localised one there. Door and poor do not rhyme. I think the poor, that's quite a northern thing, that ooh sound. Some people do say door for door. I don't. It would be door and poor. How do you pronounce the word but and put? I guess they kind of do rhyme, but that is quite a northern thing. I assumed chav was a northern thing. It's not. That's interesting. Grandma's quite a northern thing as well from the looks of it. Plimsolls is quite a southern thing. Yeah, I think that's all the information that's going to give me right now. If you guys do this quiz, let me know is it accurate to you or not, and I'm hoping to revisit this video in maybe a year or so's time. Maybe we can make this a yearly thing, and I can check to see if it's changed. I just think it would be interesting as I, live in different places in the country to see how this might change, though I imagine it's going to stay pretty northern, to be honest. So yeah, if you guys have any requests or questions, then leave them down in the comments. New videos every Wednesday, like, subscribe and all that jazz, and I will see you next week. Bye!